To me, the suburb kids have ruined the NBA. Point blank, period. The kids from the suburb, daddies in the NBA that made millions of dollars, and they was playing AAU travel ball, hopping out of Phantoms, Ferraris, Rolls Royces, Bugattis. To me, those people have ruined the NBA. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Sammy Rigaud podcast. My name is Sammy Rigaud. If you're new here and the algorithm has brought you to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and like this video. Vogue came out with a story about Nike sales going down. So in 2025, Nike's fiscal revenue fell down 10%, and their quarter four revenue, so the end of 2025, their quarter four revenue was down 12% year over year. Nike Direct was down 14% altogether. Wholesale was down 9%, and digital sales, took a massive hit. Now, people are saying it's because of tariffs. People are saying it's because the inventory. People are saying that people just aren't into it anymore. Bryant Windhorst, a reporter, journalist, says that the shoes, Nike shoes, are directly correlated with NBA players, and because NBA players are not as popular anymore, sales are going down. Now, I am a sneakerhead. No surprise. That's my thing. I am, hundreds. We'll get to thousands. It almost feels like, unless my wife stopped me, we get to thousands. Been doing this a long time. I'm all into sneakers. I have a children's book named Sammy's Shoes that, talks about how me and my dad would go and buy sneakers when I was a little boy. NBA is also my thing. I got the playoffs going on right now. You can't see it, but behind you, there's a big screen. I'm watching the playoff game right now. Now, this is interesting to me, right? People are saying that the NBA ratings are down and Nike is down. So we got to ask yourself, why is this? Why do we feel this way? I personally have some ideas, right? I think, first of all, the NBA player that we watch, besides the rules changing that people don't want to watch this soft style of basketball, right, where everything's a foul, the people also don't like seeing and rooting for these players. These players, they don't come from the inner city no more. America likes to cheer for the underdog, so it was a cool thing to watch, Jordan come from the inner city, being poor, break through, become somebody. We like seeing that. We like seeing, Magic Johnson, Julius Erving. These guys come from rough, tough inner city backgrounds, and then they go and then they make through the NBA. It's fun to watch that. Those are stars. Right now the NBA, it's players' kids. Like, it's ex-players' kids. So, we'll take the Steph Curry. I think universally we all accepted Steph Curry. Steph Curry was Del Curry's son, or is Del Curry's son, and we'll take that. We'll take how, he works hard. He became the best shooter ever. We'll take that. But it feels like every time you turn on a game, it's somebody's son who played. And the kids come from wealth. So a lot of the it's not as good of a brand anymore because we can't identify to somebody that is a Nepo baby. Their nepotism has gotten them there, right? You turn on the NBA right now, or you look at the draft, coming up this year, you got Boozer's kids, you got Carmelo's kid, LeBron's kid in the league. You got, there's so many kids of NBA players. And people don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch these kids sometimes because it's like, they didn't struggle. It's less relatable. These guys are not hungry. They're rich. They're rich since they was little. Since they were little, they didn't play outside and they didn't shoot in the rain and go to the parks and play. They had trainers. They had coaches. They had access to all these things that would make you a great basketball player, and people don't relate to that. You know what I mean? I think the ex-NBA player, the old NBA player, those guys getting it out of the mud, getting that struggle, putting that work, dribbling outside, just playing on double rim, it made people relate to them. It also gave those guys more personality. They talked junk to each other. They had an edge to them. These new NBA players are all friends. They're rich already. They were rich when they were little, so it's like people don't want to watch those. They're stars because of their name, but it's just not the same. You know what I mean? LeBron, come from nothing, single mom, go to the NBA. Like, it's different. So when those guys when those guys come out with shoes, it represented aspiration. Like, yo, these guys are going to be somebody. Like, they came from nothing, and now they are somebody. It just felt bigger. And right now, I don't want to buy some of these other guys because it's like, ooh, you are a legacy kid. You are a Nepo baby. That's like, no disrespect, but we don't want that. And you guys are actually the problem with the league. That's why the league's so soft. We don't just buy performance. We buy identity. We want to identify with athletes. If you're a Jordan fan, you like the struggle. You like the fact that he didn't make his varsity team. And then everybody knows that story. He didn't make it, and he pushed through. Back then, the star came from the struggle. Back then, the shoe was a story. It wasn't just a silhouette. And on top of that, like, the inner city hoop influence was that, like, AI, you bought Allen Iverson sneakers because he looked the part. He was edgy. That was AI. The braids. You know what I mean? The hip hop, like, it all connected. And these guys, this isn't that. Right? This isn't that. One could argue that the suburban kids have ruined the league. They have ruined the league. And this is what we got here is because, this is where we at. The suburban kids, the suburb kids, the kids who are rich, that are good at basketball, they have ruined the league. The other reason that I think shoe sales are down and then there are no stars anymore is because, they're too accessible. Like, you couldn't open your phone back in the day and find out what Michael Jordan was doing. You couldn't. You didn't know what Kobe Bryant was doing. You didn't know what any of these guys were doing. All you got was a magazine, a story, a commercial, maybe an interview. Now, you open up your phone right now, you could see what Anthony Edwards ate for breakfast. That's not, I'm a fan, and I follow and I watch, but it's like, yo, it's not the same. You know how bad, when Michael Jordan used to do an interview, I would stop what I was doing to go watch. I'm like, okay, hold on. He's on TV with Ahmad Rashad. Let me tune into this. Because you never heard Jordan speak. You never heard Kobe speak like that. But now, it's anything. And I think that mystery behind them, we see it happen with music too. In music, shoot, too much access to these people has ruined it. It's ruined it. Now, there are some people that still keep the mystique. There are some people that keep the mystique in music. You don't know what Beyonce's doing every moment. You don't know what The Weeknd's doing every moment. You don't know that. You don't know what Kendrick's doing. You just don't. You don't really know what Bruno Mars is snacking on that night. You don't know that stuff. Those guys have kept the mystique. In basketball, everybody's got an IG. Everybody's a brand. Everybody's selling something. So it's different. We see players on IG Live all day. Hey, I'm taking questions. It's like, that's too much. We see their tunnel fits, what they wear that day. Like, hey, this is what, like, come on, it's too much. Hey, get ready with me. A day in the life. It's too much. These guys are content creators because there's so much money involved. So there is no reason to actually, admire or, look at these players. Now, mind you, people are still going to do it. But it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. We know everything. We know people's families. We know athletes' routines, their gaming habits. Freaking NBA players have podcasts now. No shade, but, the NBA players have podcasts. And I mean, the craziest thing is, and I love Draymond Green. If you watch me for the last year, Draymond Green is one of my favorite people. But Draymond Green will finish a basketball game. He'll finish a game. He'll do the post-game interview. He'll take a shower, and then he'll turn on a camera and get on a mic and do a podcast episode. It's like, yo, there's too much accessibility to these players. We know way too much. Now, they're getting money. They got brand deals. They're building their brand. I'm cool with it. But that's the reason we don't have any more stars anymore, because they're too accessible. I wish I could have watched Michael Jordan doing something. Anyway, sneaker culture is built on mystique. It just is. The less you know about, somebody in the sneaker world, it goes well. It's better for them. Rest in peace, Virgil. We didn't know much about Virgil. We knew some ideas, and we loved the shoe. Even Yeezy. When Yeezy was at his peak, he was putting them out. No commercial. No, you just saw him. You just saw him out, and that was it. Like, a signature shoe back in the day used to feel like it came from a superhero. I used to beg my daddy to buy me some Penny Hardaways. God, at least some Scottie Pippens. Some Charles Barkley. Some Deons. These guys were superstars because you didn't know too much about them. Now we see way too much. It's kind of corny. It's kind of corny. The NBA used to sell superheroes with cool nicknames. The Glove. The Black Mamba. You know what I mean? Now we just get, these are just rich, regular people that we know of. These are just regular people. What's the coolest nickname right now in the league? Ant-Man? Like, that's like Ja? I'm trying to think of a cool, we don't even have nicknames. We used to have nicknames. Like, you used to see a player, that was his nickname, and that was his, D-Wade was Flash. That was his Flash. Like, that was, but that's gone. And because of that, the shoe culture is struggling from that as well. It's kind of sad. I feel bad for kids, man. I'm a teacher, and I feel bad for some of these kids because they want to be, they want some of that hype and nostalgia that we had when we was older, but it's just not there. I have some kids that love LaMelo Ball. He's like the coolest thing to them. LaMelo Ball has really cool sneakers, but it's not the same. Like, LaMelo is all on IG, arguing with people. His brother's rapping. He's like, it's too much accessibility. And another reason these shoes are, like, sales are going down. Remember, I'm talking about Nike, how these sales are going down. Not only because, suburb kids have ruined the NBA. Not only because, everybody's too accessible. There's also a lot more competition for Nike, yo. Like, Nike sales are going to go down because Adidas is hot right now, and it's cyclical. Adidas did its run. Remember when Nipsey was out, Puma had their run, and when they did the Rihanna Fenty and the Nipsey Hustle, it was hot. It was hot. Them shoes. I have a couple Pumas in here. They'll look like them little Balenciagas with the big chunk in the back. I had a few of those. And I had the runner. I thought it was cool with the tracksuit. Puma was doing their thing. But Adidas taking over with soccer, the influence of soccer. Like, basketball used to be culturally dominant. It used to be urban, everything. Like, man, I'm thinking about how the basketball shoe was just it, man. And then that's gone now because there's way too many competitions. There's way too much competition. Adidas got stuff. New Balance. You know what I mean? You cannot tell one of these little kids that New Balance isn't the biggest brand out here. They wear those shoes everywhere. Everywhere. The girls, the guys. I told you that Puma. Freaking Under Armour has some stuff. Like, there's so much competition out here. And because of that, Nike's not going to dominate. And then Nike's athletes, they don't have a mystique to them. They can't really push the brand and become bigger superstars. So, you know what I mean? And even if NBA players were still huge, there's now more options. There's more options. So that's my thing. I think Nike isn't just competing with players anymore. They're competing with comfort, the New Balances, the A6, nostalgia with the Adidas brand, and just niche stuff that people want to wear. Like that attention span is different. And I'll say this: my favorite shoe is always going to be Michael Jordan. Like any Jordans are going to be my favorite. That's just how I get down. Hundreds of them. That's what I look and talk Jordans every day. Right? Sneakers on this side, sneakers on that side in my room in here. And I don't know. I feel like we'll never get that back. We'll never get that back. And I know I sound like the old man. Hey, get off my lawn. Or back in my day. Like it sounds like I'm saying that. But at the end of the day, the NBA is still making money. And sneakers are still making money. And Nike's still making money. But we don't have the stars in the NBA. The NBA is too soft. It's too friendly. The players talk too much. They're too accessible. They're too emotional. And it's just a different product. Now, I could be wrong. Y'all could tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not going for it. To me, I'm going to be very sad when LeBron walk off that court, when Stephen Curry walk off that court, when Joker walks off that court, Durant, Kawhi, Russ, even Harden, Dame. I'm going to miss that generation of players. Now, the NBA is in pretty good hands with Wemby and Cade and Shea and all that. But at the end of the day, like it does feel like there's less stars out here. It really does. And I feel bad for the next generation because you will never have it how I had it. And I know some old people talk. Some old people older than me might say, "Oh, well, y'all didn't get Magic and Bird and Oscar Robinson." Maybe y'all tell me. Maybe I missed out. But I know for a fact that these kids are missing out. They're missing out. Yeah, missing out. All to say, man, listen. Y'all let me know in the comments, what do y'all think? To me, the suburb kids have ruined the NBA, point blank period. The kids from the suburb, the Nepo babies, the kids who have daddies in the NBA that made millions of dollars, and they was playing in gyms. They were playing AAU travel ball, hopping out of Phantoms, Ferraris, Rolls Royces, Bugattis, never really having to work for anything. And now they're automatically NBA. To me, those people have ruined the NBA. They really have. They really have. And then now you got the kids who, the fact that there's so much money involved, everything's a brand, everybody's got to post this, talk about this, promote this, have a podcast, sell this. That has ruined the NBA to me. Point blank. It has ruined the NBA. And we're now experiencing an NBA that looks different from what it used to be. And it sucks. Y'all let me know in the comments. What do y'all think? Am I right? Are Nike sales going down because just like some Trump tariffs and like the China relationship? Or is it because we don't have any more stars in the NBA? People are tired of watching these products. We're tired of cheering for rich people. People are tired of seeing soft people in the NBA. Y'all let me know in the comments. Hey, my name is Sam Rigaud. This is the Sam Rigaud podcast. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. God bless you.